Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I am hoping to finalize my coloring page in Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hanna Karlzon. We've been working on the double page spread, and as you can see I haven't yet finished my mushrooms, but today I want to come and finish everything except the mushrooms that are needing me to finish them. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to do the inside of the windows, the window panes, the door, the number, the mailbox, the pollen bits of these flowers, the rest of the tiny leaves. The chimney will make brown, these mushrooms, and then the clothing. So yeah, I think it's going to look perfect. I think this door we're going to make black actually, and then these two doors will make a dark, maybe make like a reddish brown, maybe pull in the color from the top of the mushroom onto the door. So I'll use the same colors there. We'll do yellow tints in the windows. I'll do probably dark brown here, black edging here. I'm not yet decided on the tiles for the roof, and we'll do a different, maybe I don't know, an earth green kind of leaf, or maybe a permanent green. Maybe make these vibrant. I'm just having a quick look at the different green options I've got here. We could make it a phthalo green, actually, a bluey green. So it will be maybe light phthalo green into dark phthalo green and maybe pine green. So I'm going to pull those out. We'll do the leaves first and get them out the way. Just bear with me one moment to just get all the stuff. So we'll do light phthalo green, dark phthalo, and pine green. I've moved my polys into a separate pencil bag, so everything's a little bit more muddled up than I remember it. Hi Penny, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Alright, I'm going to zoom you into those leaves. Oh yes, and then I need to decide on these two flowers, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm sure it will come to me. Okay, so I'm going to use light phthalo green first. And I'm choosing a more blue base green because of the background. I want these leaves to stand out from the background. So I don't want to choose a green that's going to kind of make it disappear in. So I hope you're all well, that you've had a good few weeks. I am happy to be back, feeling better. Been struggling with a few migraines lately, but that's okay. I mean, it's just part of life. Sometimes they come up and we just deal with it. A lot's going on. I'll be really glad when June is over. It's just been one of those months where it will be nice to be rid of it. But that's life for you. We had two of our boys assessed for dyslexia, and they've come back that they do definitely have dyslexia. So I'm also trying to just work on that and see how can I best support them. And I'm looking forward to getting the report from the educational psychologist. And yeah, so that's been a busy thing, and actually quite a big deal for us as parents, I think. but we see it as a positive because it's just who they are, and we don't see it as a negative. It just requires some adjusting and just thinking things through. Okay, now I'm going on to dark phthalo green. So we're trying to celebrate with the boys and just remind them of their uniqueness, and that the way they are is precious and valuable, and play to their strengths. So just work out all their strengths and how can we emphasize that and work with it to just increase confidence and that sort of thing. So I've been doing a lot of reading around that, trying to make sure my understanding is accurate, and also just getting tips on, because I homeschool them, how can I adjust things to work for them so that school and learning is fun. And then we were at the rugby club one of the Saturdays, and we were just volunteering and helping out there because there was an event. So we were helping out with the bar and some of the food trucks. So that was a fun experience. We were out a lot later than we expected, but it was quite handy because with us helping out, we got free entrance to the event, and some food and drink was included, you know, as like a thank you for helping out. So that was quite cool. So I'm just shifting the page along the side so you can see what I'm doing. I've been looking at some tutorial videos by Kit and Clouder. I don't know if any of you know them. I think it's just one lady. Lovely, lovely tutorials. They do classes. And anyway, she, in the one video I was watching, was showing how if you have too hard a pressure, you need to lighten it up. But if you put too little pressure, you're actually making the process of coloring a lot harder, because you just end up having to build up the color slowly with multiple layers. So she gave a sample of what coloring very lightly looks like, and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I probably could press a little bit harder on my pencils and thereby get enough pigment down without damaging the paper, and slightly speed up my coloring process in the same time. So I thought that would be worth trying out. Okay, so then for dark layer, I'm going to come in with my pine green. You probably could use a dark blue here. So what have you all been coloring? I saw the new, what's it called? Deep Blue mythographic book has come out. I think I saw Ashley's coloring journey. She did a flip through, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I've been filming some color along series in the mythographic books. So I'm doing one in Magical Earth, and I'm doing another one in Paradise. I think it's Paradise. No, it's not. It's Frozen Fantasies. So that's exciting. But yeah, that deep blue mythographic book, I'm not sure about it. Like, there's some pages in it I thought, oh, that's really pretty, I could definitely color those. But then there were other ones and I just thought, I'm not sure. Especially the pictures where it was an animal turned into like a fish or a mermaid. I wasn't too sure if it really worked, to be honest. Oh, well done, Penny. RJ Hampson page. Oh, lovely. How are you enjoying RJ Hampson's work? And I see you saying you started one in aviary. I've seen a couple of the aviary pages. They're really, really pretty. Is that by Kattenbang or Fabiana Atanasio? I can't remember. I've got quite a few pages in the mythographic books going on at the moment, and I'm busy with a 2-color challenge in Worlds Within Worlds. Sorry, my brain is tired tonight, so it's not really functioning very fast. So yeah, I was told by my one son to do a page with only pinks and browns. So he picked the skinless, or not the skinless, the hairless cat in Worlds Within Worlds. So I've been doing that. And then a few in Romantic Country. Oh, okay, so it is Kattenbang. I do like his illustrations, although I do find myself getting a little bit more overwhelmed with his work than I'd have with Fabiana Atanasio, if that makes sense. I know it sounds very strange because their new books don't have all those hidden objects, and the hidden objects did do my head in quite a bit. I think I'm going to bring this green down here. Over here, I think it will look pretty. So down to where the mushrooms are. All right, I'm going back to dark phthalo green and I'm just layering down now. I'm glad it makes sense. I've started the one page in Voyage with Black Widow pencils. Really love them on the paper. They do work quite well. But so the page I'm working on is it's like the Chinese dragon. There's a lantern and some moths and a girl riding a moth. So it's a really, really lovely page. But honestly, it's doing my head in. I don't know if I'm restricting myself to the colors a bit, but I am trying to keep it kind of cohesive and not overwhelmed with colors. But the lantern is really, I'm struggling with it because I'm trying to balance my colors. And I've got a dark blue background, and then I've got this, like, I'm trying to do an raw iron lantern, but then I haven't done the light source because I don't know whether to do normal flame or to do a green flame. So I think the light source is, I'm just getting so stuck on it, it's actually hilarious. All right, now I'm going back to light phthalo green. So I think I just need to be patient and give it time, and I'll eventually figure it out. But I do really like Joseph Kattenbang's work. He's really good. Oh wow, that's very encouraging to hear about R.J. Hampson looking for better paper and opening a website for PDFs. I would definitely be happy to purchase some PDFs and print them out, because I do think his work is really cool and I think it's fun. But because it's on Amazon paper, I'm just reluctant to buy the books. Some of the Amazon paper I find is a bit hit and miss. So like Selena Fenwick's books, the paper in there is really bad. But then if you take Christine Caron's Amazon books, it's not too bad. I can work with the Amazon paper. But I'm not sure if I want to test R.J. Hampson on that. I do have one of his books because my 8-year-old really liked his dragon book, so I got him the dragon book. But I haven't tried anything in there. Okay, now I'm going to take a cold grey one and I'm going to just blend this into my highlighted areas. And I think that actually is a really nice green combination. Oh, sorry, I'm going off screen there. So I'm just going into the highlights with the cold grey. I take a little bit of pine green in here because this is actually supposed to be background. It blends in nicely. Okay, then to the side. And then I'll do the same thing here with cold grey. Yeah, they look very fun to colour. Okay, I'm going to come with the same colours and do the leaves here. And maybe some of these tufts of grey I'll bring in a different colour. Maybe I'll bring a leaf green in there. And then here, these leaves here. So this is a light green. I'm just going to do these leaves here with a light green. You could probably use a gel pen for these. Okay, so this is light phthalo green. The other thing I find myself doing, and I need to work on not doing it, is I think I overthink my colouring, and then after a while I just block up. So I don't know if any of you do that as well, where this is back to my light green. I just overthink things, or I try too hard. Okay, so here is the dark phthalo green. So I finally finished a page in one of the romantic country books, and now I just want to colour in more of those beautiful books. So that's a good thing, because I've had Romantic Country now at the second tale and I think the first tale for over a year. So to finally be able to color in them is a breakthrough. Do any of you have books that you struggle to color in? And if you do, how long does it take you to overcome that? Oh yes, the flowers were a suggestion from, I think it was Kali. In my previous life, it was suggested I do African daisies, so we did the African daisies instead. And I do think it works really well on the against the blue house. Okay, so light phthalo green. And then we do have the bugs to do. So we might make them, well, this, maybe make the small bug and the bigger bug like ladybirds, maybe, I don't know. I'll get there. I'll get there. Oh, I hear you. So which Kirby book have you got your whip in? I do get sidetracked as well with new books or different pages, or even if I get new art supplies, I can easily get sidetracked. But then I'm like, you know what, I buy, the hobby is to relax me and to have fun, so, you know, I just kind of am trying to accept the fact that I just have whips. I should actually do an update on all my whips and showcase the ones that I've completed and my new ones. Oh, well done. How are you enjoying the Mythic world? I'm toying with the idea of getting it. I really am enjoying Kirby's books. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that you like it. I've ummed and ahed about it a lot. I mean, there are some pages in it I'm not sure about, but there are a whole lot of other ones where I think it could be fun. I do like the World series more than I like the Anamorphia and Phantomorphia and Imagimorphia ones. Those aren't really my style. I think it's just too doodly. But the World Series, I really enjoyed that. That is true. Most books are like that. I suppose you do have the parts that you will colour and then the bits that you won't colour. I've heard some people will even buy a book if it's got one page they like, just because that's the page that they can get hold of. Obviously, I'm presuming that means that they can't get the PDF of that page. Okay, I've gone back down to light phthalo green. And then the cold grey, which is just a number 1 cold grey. You could probably even leave it white if you wanted to. Right, so now we need, I'm thinking a Naples yellow. And we're going to do the inside of the windows. It's so funny how when you change a pencil bag, everything just feels weird. It's like nothing is in the right place. Okay, I can't find my Naples yellow. We can use a dark Naples yellow instead. So I'm going to use a cadmium yellow. So I thought once this page is done, we could do one of the pages in the Mythographic Voyage book. So I'm thinking of doing the train page and using a mixture of pencils and maybe basing some of it in alcohol markers. We need to do this as soft yellow because I haven't created it as a light source. Or maybe we do a very light blue. I like doing yellow windows because to me it just feels like the owners are home, and I quite like that. I like pretending that the people are at home. Yeah, so I've thought of doing a dark blue background and then a grayish sort of whale, with maybe pull in a few touches of blues. And then of course you've got the sunflowers. So I could do two options. I could do the more reddy yellow sunflowers, or I could do just the general sunflowers. Then you've got the rolling hills, probably browns and blacks for the train tracks. And then I'm not decided yet on the color of the train, because my challenge is I've got to try think of something different to what I've seen Coloring with Elena do. I think she's done that page, and if I remember rightly, she did a red train. So I don't want to copy her color palette per se. I want to try and keep it original. And don't get me wrong, I love Coloring with Elena. Her work is always amazing. But I do like to try and create my own style, so because I'm still trying to explore my creative style. Okay, so now I'm going to just deepen the yellow up with the dark Naples yellow. Yeah, exactly. Doing something different to what other people have done. It does get hard though when so many pages have been done in so many different ways. It gets more tricky to be original. But I do like the challenge of that. Okay, I'm going to have to go slightly darker here. So let's bring in some dark chrome yellow. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Alright, so at least we know there are people home. Okay, so I was going to do these two doors, similar colors to the top of the mushroom. So this is cinnamon. You can actually do red nameplates. Alright, so then this is Caput Mortem. And then we want walnut brown. Probably need a really sharp pencil for this. I'm just sharpening this tip because I do need that brown really sharp. Otherwise it's going to just take over all of that Caput Mortem. So I'm really trying here to create that wood grain on the doors just to give it some texture and spice it up. So I'm going back down to the caput mortuum. And then back down to the cinnamon. I'm going quite light into the highlight because I don't want it to overtake. You need that highlight quite light. And then a white pencil. And then I can go back to my walnut brown. I feel like I've only recently discovered how to do wood texture in a way that actually pops. Okay, so let's go caput mortuum. Now I still think it's a little too linear, but it does add some character, so that's what we're going for. And then the cinnamon. So medium pressure in the shadow area, but then lighter pressure coming into the highlight. And that just helps blend it out. And then white pencil, just to keep your highlights bright. And then you can just go back to caput mortuum and just deepen this up. And then your walnut brown. All right, we have some doors. So let's make some stones. I think if we bring in a bit of brown and greys, that will look quite nice. So let's do warm greys and some browns. We can even add a bit of green into it. Okay, so we need a warm grey 4, a warm grey 1, and then an olive green yellowish. And again, you want quite sharp pencils because they're quite small areas. Okay, so I'm going to lay a base of my cold grey, not cold grey, sorry, warm grey. So these rocks here we can actually do brown. So I'm coming in with a Van Dyke brown. And then a burnt sienna. Followed by a dark Naples yellow. And then you can just go over that with the Van Dyke brown just to deepen up the shadows. Okay, so warm grey, oh goodness, this is the warm grey 6. Wasn't quite what I was wanting to do, but anyway. So because it's very dark, we're just going to use a light pressure. Hi Shani, how are you? It's great to have you join. Welcome. Hi Appetite for Colouring, how are you? It's great to have you. I hope that you both have had a good start to your week. Alright, this is olive green yellowish. Now I want a little bit of a green tinge coming through here, but I'm placing it kind of randomly. So I want it to kind of look like they've got a bit of moss on them. Thank you, I'm well. I'm glad you're doing well. I am doing pretty okay. Looking forward to finishing up this page and then getting started on a new one. I really like finishing pages and I like starting pages. Somewhere in the middle I get a bit lost. Okay, so I'm coming back in with my warm grey 6. Oh, I'm so glad that you've been able to catch me live too, Shani. It's really, really great. I really appreciate you popping in. And okay, I'm gonna leave those there and I'm gonna just do the same thing on this side. I'm thinking of doing the brickwork on the house with silver gel pen. Maybe. I don't want to do all of it with gel pen, but maybe like random ones, just to add a bit of a shine. So I might go a little bit longer than usual, just to try and get this page done. Well, besides the mushrooms. I find every time I come down to the weekend, I think, oh my goodness, I need to finish my mushrooms and I need to have it done by Monday. And lo and behold, every other coloring page will be more important than finishing this page with my mushrooms. Oh wow, you guys, I'm so glad everyone's the grapevine has been letting you know about my lives. It means a lot actually, and it's very encouraging, so thank you so much. Okay, so here is actually part of like a step, I think, because there's a little bit here and then it comes here. This is probably got to be the most detailed I've ever done on a Hanna Karlzon page, at least as far as small details goes. Normally her pages, they're not this tiny. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Okay, earth green yellowish. I don't really need to do too much green here because the ink tint has gone onto the green. And then I'm going to bring a white pencil in to try and lighten that up. Hi Melissa! Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. It's great to have you tonight. Thanks for joining. I was on Instagram, I think it was Instagram, and my Instagram feed sometimes has these adverts for random things or for like hacks. And the one ad I saw was these bookshelves, but they rotate. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, that looks so cool. I could easily put my coloring stuff into like a squarish tower and free up more space. So hubby went on to Amazon and he looked up rotating bookshelves, and he says to me, oh, the decent ones cost £400. I thought, no, we can wait before we buy anything that expensive, because they do look really nice. You know, it's all compact and you can put a fair amount of books in it. And my coloring collection could easily fit in one, but I was like, no, not not for that price. I'm not there yet. I can still make do. But it's just one of those novelty sort of ideas. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear you had one with holes and you couldn't put it together. Oh, that's such a bummer. Yeah, I've got a nice bookcase I use for all my other books, but the rest of my bookcases are IKEA bookcases. Well, similar style. We got them when we first moved over to the UK, and they were just quite cheap. So they fat pack and everything. But they're quite deep, the shelves, so I think if I could have adjustable shelves, I could probably fit more books in them. Okay, where am I? We need to do this thing here, brown. So this is sienna brown, and this windowsill as well. Van Dyke brown. I'll do warm grey 6. No, it's getting a little lost there. And then a white pencil. Alright, I'm going to do the door frames probably more black. I think that will stand out quite nicely. And then I want to do normal wood poles there, so we can use Vista. Then Van Dyke Brown. Okay, my light is coming from this middle side, so I'm going to try and keep this side of the stick light. I was looking at some of the completed pictures on Instagram for Magical Earth, Mythographic Magical Earth, and I think I also came across one of those website Instagram accounts where people repost other people's artwork. So I was looking through there and I saw so many spectacular colorings with light source. And the one page I'm currently filming is the owl in Magical Earth. And this one picture I saw was the lighting was coming from the portal in the middle of the page, and whoever painted or colored it did such a spectacular job, because the whole owl had the light source reflecting on it in all the right places. It was absolutely breathtaking. I do like looking at everybody's art on Instagram because it's so inspiring. And sometimes somebody else has been able to go and create something I've got in my head, but I just don't know how to get it out. So by finding a reference photo, it helps me visualize what I'm trying to do. Okay, now I want my cold grey one just to brighten this. You could probably use even a white pencil. I'm just doing these rocks the same as the ones down there. And then I'll just do the stick here. If I go quiet, please excuse me. I'm just focusing really hard at all these tiny details. Okay, I said I was going to do red number plates. So let's use pale geranium lake and a dark red. And then deepen it with the dark red. And I'm just using the grey 6, warm grey 6, to just cast a shadow on it or deepen it up. And then go over it again with the deep dark red. I'm going to put the number 4 in white here. I actually like it. Right, the ant. The ant is black, so we can use dark browns and blacks for that. Hi Bee, how are you? It's great to have you join. I'm doing all right, and how are you? And then burnt umber, I just don't want it too like flat, so I'm trying to just give them all black feet or dark grey feet. Maybe we'll make this a blue bug. make it blue and gold. I'm trying to make sure I stay in the colors. Maybe if I do, well, I could do those two blue bugs. I could do all of them blue actually. This one will get lost, so let's see. If I have two blue here, oh gosh, I don't know. See, this is when I actually walk away and I won't come back to it. I'm terrible. I promise you, if it wasn't for doing this on a live stream, this would be a forever whip, because I would just shake my head and go, no, I don't know, and then that's it. I would call it quits. Okay, let's come up to the house while I think. And we can just avoid the bugs. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to avoid the bugs. Oh, thank you, Bee. I'm glad you like it. It has come a long way. And I do like how it's turning out. I was looking at some of your Ken Matsuda books and finished works. You've done a really great job, Bee. It's very inspiring to see what you've created in the Ken Matsuda books. I really take my hat off to you. Yes, Ken's artwork is definitely inspirational. So I'm just using a warm grey 6 and a white pencil to just do the skirting or the roof lining, and then I'm just going along the edges with the warm grey 6 just to redefine it. Okay, chimney, I want to do like shades of brown, so that was brown ochre, and then I'm going to come with sienna brown. I can't believe that June is actually almost finished. It's just like, where has the time gone? And then you know, you think, oh my gosh, it's actually July. In a few days, it's July. It just amazes me how quickly time goes. Is anyone planning on doing any Christmas in July coloring? I did see someone share on Facebook that they are doing a holiday hashtag. So Christmas, Halloween, that sort of thing, but in July. Which I actually thought was quite cool, because then, you know, if you feel like coloring holiday related things, you don't have to wait until October, November or December. You could happily color it in now. Oh, same, Shani. I also have in the past done one Christmas page in July. I'm thinking of maybe doing one in, I think it's Enchanted Christmas by Teresa Goodrich. There's a page in there with, I think, a Santa sitting on the beach. So that quite appeals to me, because it's kind of like summer and you can easily do Christmas. Well, unless you're in the southern hemisphere, because then Christmas is in summer. Fair enough. No Christmas in July, because you do so much Christmas during Christmas. Fair enough. I always want to do so much Christmas over Christmas, because it's my favorite holiday and I just don't get to it. Alright, okay, cool. I had a panic there for a moment because my internet must have dropped, and I thought, oh no, I hope that my phone's okay, and I hope that the stream is okay. So yay, everything is fine. Okay, so here I'm coming in again with light green. Right. So let's take warm grey 1. I'll do these. I could use white pearl colors for these bricks, and then silver gel pen, because the white colors will make the bricks look kind of sparkly. And I could do silver gel pen sort of randomly. So it's like, I don't know, something like this. I mean, I know you can do the brickwork, you know, with pencil, and it will look a little bit more poppy, but I don't know. Some of these are really tiny, so maybe I just do the tiny ones. Oh, thank you, Kali. I am glad that you like it. So if we just do some of them, and then I could do others white. And then I can color some of them. And if I don't like it, we can just go over it with a pen. So white gel pen. I think the white gel pen gets lost, so we won't do white. I think we'll just stick to the silver, maybe do some gold. We could do dark blue bricks. So let's see. This is light cobalt turquoise. Hi Brittany, how are you? Right, let's do blue bricks. How far did you hike, Brittany? So I've recently come across a bit of a challenge. When I take the photos of my finished pages and I put them on Instagram, they look almost like there's too much light coming onto them. So they don't look as rich when I upload them onto Instagram as they do in real life. But I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I don't know if it's my camera. I've tried standing the book upright away from light source. I've tried being far, zooming in. I've tried all sorts of things, but I'm just not coming right. So I don't know. Anybody got any ideas? No, I don't adjust them in Instagram. I've come across over the couple of years I've been coloring, people don't seem to like the they don't seem to like it when you put a filter on. So all my photos on Instagram are unfiltered. They don't have any filter. But then they have this like slightly light wash over them. And then I feel if I put a filter on it, I'm cheating. Because, yeah, that's just what goes through my mind. So I've even tried taking photos outside. I've tried taking photos on a rainy day. So I'm not really sure what to do. I hear you, Bee. Yeah, maybe I do need to play with it. Because if I could just remove like that light wash, it would be great. Oh, that's a cool idea, Carly. Closing curtains might help. I'll try that. So in my lounge, we have, what do they call them? Bellax windows. So I get way too much light in there. So I try not to take photos in the lounge. But my room where I do my live streams and all of that, it can sometimes not have enough light. So it's a bit of a tricky one, but I will definitely give it a try closing the curtains and see if that helps. That sounds great, going for photography lessons. Shannon, it sounds like you're the person to go to. Do you like to take apart your coloring books and then bind them? I've seen some people have been talking about that on social media. I hear you, Bee, yeah. Yeah, I agree if you know that it's not about using the filters to overdo it. It's great to have somebody like Shannon you can call on and ask for advice. It's really special. Although, actually, now that we're talking about photography lessons, I do know someone who is a photographer. So actually, I might ask her if she's got any tips for me. And maybe she can also explain to me how to use filters in a way that works but doesn't change the picture, you know, that overdoing it. Oh, that's so cool. It's great. Yeah, being able to find out things if we don't know, it really is helpful. And having people who are willing to help is also really invaluable. So it sounds like, Shannon, you are really, really valuable to the coloring community. Carly, do you want your house to have glitter on it? Oh, yes, absolutely. Yay for glitter. Okay, I'll get out my glitter and we'll glitter or bedazzle your house for you. Actually, that isn't a bad idea. So if you are into diamond art, what you could do with these really small bricks is you could get out those diamond beads and put them on. I might dig some of mine out because the boys tried diamond art a year ago, so I have got leftover beads in my cupboard here. So I'll show you what I mean. But it will be messy because I have to use PVA glue. And we can maybe bedazzle the bugs as well. Oh wow, Penny, you were a photo stylist for a catalog company. That's so cool. How did you get into that? And how long were you in that industry or that profession? I don't know what these are. I just colored them yellow and white. I don't always recognize the flowers in Hanna Karlzon's books, but that's more because I'm not a flower person per se. I don't know the names of flowers very well. Yeah, I can see how you see them as daffodils. Oh wow, Penny, that's so cool. Okay, I'm going to come in with cream for these stalks. And I think I'm going to make these the same color as the lower down mushrooms. So I'm going to take these mushroom colors and I'm just going to bring it up. And I'm digressing, but I'm going to do these and I'm going to bedazzle the tips with, well, I'm going to glitter the tips. B. That would be really funny, although very uncomfortable for you if you tied yourself up into a pretzel. But I can understand. I love flowers. I just haven't been practiced enough with the names of different flowers. So I know a few common ones. Maybe if sometimes what I like to do is take photos of the flowers or the trees and then go on to, I think you get those apps which help to identify them. So that's helped me a bit, especially when we moved over to the UK. Everything from birds and flowers to trees was very different for us. So it did help me at least get a handle on just some of the common birds, some common plants. So I learned about honeysuckle daffodils, tulips, cow's parsley, some of the other things. Although this year I was muddling up elderflower flowers with chestnut flowers. So that was really hilarious. And I still don't know what an elderflower looks like. because I actually don't go online and check. I get too busy. But I've tried to memorize in my head the names for, well, the horse chestnut, and then I'm slowly memorizing some of the more regular flowers. But that's about it. Yeah, Google Images are a girl's best friend, or a colorist's best friend. So when I was doing the owl page in Magical Earth, I didn't know what owl it was. I figured that it had to be inspired by an actual owl. So I Googled owls, and turns out, according to what I could figure out, it looks like a long-eared owl. So I kind of went from there, but then I gave it my own colored feathers. So sometimes you can work out what the drawing is by just typing up the general word. So that does help, but not all the time. All right, I want a walnut brown. I don't want to do these too dark. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, that's very good to know. Thank you. I didn't know about the Google Lens app. Hi Leslie, how are you? All right, back over all of this with my cream. I'm not too bad. Thank you. I'm glad you're well. How are your puppies? Okay, so we were going to do orange and red with white dots. So let's do orange. Right, I'll try not to do all of them and just keep moving this along because I can always finish the mushrooms off camera. So this is deep red. And then a walnut brown. Oh, that's great, Leslie. I'm glad that your pup is good. And all your dogs. I don't blame them for lazing around on a hot day. It's not much you can do when it's hot, except just lie somewhere cool and just relax. Especially if there's no wind. I think that's the worst. It's when it's really, really hot and then you don't have a wind to kind of cool things down. I'll work it out for you. 108 in Celsius. I'll just pull up a quick converter. Wow, okay, 108 in Celsius is 108 degrees Fahrenheit is 42 degrees Celsius, which is really hot. I mean, that reminds me of like when I was growing up in Mozambique. 99 is 37 degrees, and that is still really hot. 75 Fahrenheit is 23 degrees. So we've been averaging, today was a cooler day because it was slightly overcast. I think if we got to 22, 23, it would probably be okay. But there was a cool breeze. Yesterday was quite hot. And Saturday was also really hot. Saturday we had no breeze, so the evening got really hot and sticky. So yeah, we're averaging low to mid 20s at the moment. It's really hot, Leslie. I really feel for you and the dogs. People running to the beach at 22 degrees Celsius. Yeah, I can imagine that. It's a nice warm day. It would be a day by the beach. So when we moved to the UK, temperatures like 22, 25 would still be considered relatively cool because South Africa gets really, really hot in the summer. And easily into the 30 degrees Celsius. But then the UK tends to average the early 20s during the summer, and if you get to 25, over 25, it's then a heat wave. So it always was, and it still is for me, a little bit fun because by the time British people who don't like a lot of heat are in the heat wave and they're like ready for winter to come, I'm just getting comfortable because I've got my hot South African blood kicking in. I'm like, yeah, bring on the heat. Let's go to the beach. Let's tan the body. Let's be outdoors. So it's really interesting how we grow up differently depending on where we are and how we change when we move around the world and immigrate and all that. Oh my gosh, that's hot. 34. That's hot. You get a whole different thing going on as well because humid heat is probably harder than a dry heat because you get sticky. Wow, I can imagine. Okay, I'm going to grab some of my embellishment stuff and my diamond art things and some glue, and then we can do a bit of embellishing here. Let's just bring in some walnut brown. Yeah. I need to do the roof of this house as well. I might do very light grey tiles. Alright, so I've grabbed out my diamond art extra beads. So it's not a lot because I have to empty it out so I can actually see what's going to work. So, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably diamond art the tiles. Which, yeah, that would be interesting. So we're looking for shades of blue. So we've got really light blues. Need to pull out all the blues. Actually, dark blue might work better. Okay, so let's see. You could easily do that. My hands are sticky. Dark blue. Yes, it's bedazzle time. It's only because I'm actually avoiding everything else on the page. I mean, if I'm really honest. Okay, let's see. So you can have, oh gosh. I'm just trying to work out which blue would work best. Actually, you could probably do all of them, really. You'd have quite a nice mix. Your dark one really stands out though. So we might actually do a really, I think, could do a red door, look different. So that one, this one here, I think is too light. So we can use the two darker ones. So I don't have that sticky glue that you get on the actual diamond art. We'll just use some PVA glue. The only thing is I don't know how long lasting this is going to be. It might still fall off. I have no idea, Leslie. I don't know why they're called drills and then it's called diamond. Maybe it's diamond because it glitters. And when the light hits it, it's sparkly. You're supposed to use these pens and pick them up. I mean, it's not going to be perfect and they will fall off, but you know, I've got them and they should get used. And don't get me wrong, it is finicky work. I don't really like finicky work, which is partly why I don't do diamond painting. And I think it was my dad, he asked me, you know, he suggested I get into painting 3D figures, and I don't want to because it's just too finicky. My hands don't really like very finicky work. I mean, I've got the tray and everything for this, but I don't want a whole lot of them. I just want a couple. they just add a nice little texture. So I think I saw Sarah Renee Clark. She did a whole butterfly coloring page with these drills or beads or whatever it is you want to call them. Problem is this, I need more of that sticky glue stuff in here inside this pen so it actually sticks. You could probably even put them on randomly. I mean, this is totally just a home kind of use for them. Not at all the proper way. I used them in Midnight Masquerade. I did a double page spread. So I used them on the dress of the one girl. I think some of them have started falling off. Oh, Brittany, that's a pity. Yeah, having clear instructions really does go a long way in helping a person be able to do things. I remember seeing a YouTube video. I think it was a YouTube video, and it was by a dad who asked his children, they were probably middle school age, and he said to them, write down the instructions to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So they went away and they wrote down the instructions, and they came back, and he took their instructions literal until eventually they were able to successfully write the instructions in a way that when he literally took them and followed them step by step, it resulted in a successful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So in the clear instructions actually goes a long way. or something like that. Maybe I'll do a few more down here. Okay, so I'm going to try and let that dry. And we'll do yellow clothes on the washing line and silver clothes pegs. So I'm going to use light cadmium yellow. A cold grey 3. And then a cadmium yellow. Brittany, technically, yes, you're supposed to dip the tool into wax, but I haven't refreshened this particular drill with its own glue, so that's why I was having a bit more difficulty. I do have spare glue for it, I just didn't get it out. I took for granted that it would work. But yes, when you're doing actual diamond painting, you need to refill the tip on both ends so you've got fresh sticky stuff to pick up the drills. And then a white pencil. Carly, you can move in as soon as I finish the roof and the door. I think you need a door in your cottage. So the PVA glue I put on the page is how I've glued the drills onto the actual picture. We can add some Spectrum Noir sparkle as well to the house and really sparkle it up. I think I'm going to give the door a navy color. Cobalt turquoise. And then an Indanthrine blue. Okay, I'm going to use the light cobalt turquoise. The only reason I'm not doing a red door is because red on top of the red flower would, I don't want to lose the flower. And right now I can't see how to do the red door without losing the flower. I think the only color in the rainbow I haven't got in here is pink and purple. I think I've got just about every color on this page. So then I use the dark indigo to deepen up the lines. I don't know. If I do them purple, I could then do purple bugs. So yes, I could do them purple. But when you say purple, I could do a pinky purple, so a light purple, or I could do a very dark purple. Lavender. Yeah, I could do them lavender. And we finish the door, and then we'll do the lavender flowers. And then I've got a mailbox to do. Got the frog's eyes and his feet. I think his feet I'll just do green. Sorry guys, it's going to be a bit of a long live this time round, just because I want to try and finish this page, and I do color slowly, so it does mean that time drags on and not much gets done. Indigo again. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not the only slow colorist. Okay, and then white. I'll have all these intentions to speed up and get myself better and faster, and yeah, it doesn't last very long. I end up going back to just slow. Exactly, slow and steady. Okay, lavender, lavender, lavender. So if I do lavender, I'm going to probably need a violet, a manganese violet, maybe a light magenta, and I'm not sure yet which other one. Okay, so I have a light magenta, then I'll go into a violet and either crimson or I dropped my pencil, either crimson or light red violet, so we'll see how it goes. So this is the light magenta. And then we'll do purple bugs. Oh, Penny, I know that feeling. Yeah, that's true, Carly. It is easier to learn, I suppose, at a slower pace. Alright, so now I want to bring in violet. You could even layer up some blue in here. I find when I'm testing colors in my color combos, I tend to be a lot lighter while I try and see how it's going to pan out. I don't like to press too hard too quickly, but once I feel the color combo is going to work, then I go ahead and deepen up my pressure. So that's also partly why I find I color slowly. But then I suppose it doesn't really matter, because if we're coloring for ourselves and for the enjoyment of it, then I suppose it shouldn't really matter whether you color fast or slow, as long as you're enjoying it and getting the results you want. So now I'm going to come in with a crimson. Oh, Brittany, if smoothing your pencils together like you would Prismacolors works for you, then that's cool. To an extent, polys work that way, but you do need to layer them first. Polys really require a lot of layering if you really want to do them justice. So they blend well once they've got enough pigment on the page. But if you don't get your blend smooth, you're going to see it with polys. So you do need the light layers to get the blending right. Now, because this is purple, you can use dark indigo as a shadow. And then you can go over it with a violet or even your lightest color, but I would suggest going a mid-tone. So when I color, I tend to layer, and then I also tend to try and smush them together at the same time. So I'm a little bit of a in-between. I understand that with polys you can't expect them to layer the way Prismacolors do. So you do have to layer them more. But if I know it's a wax pencil, so say Castle Arts and Black Widows, I tend to treat them as sort of between a poly and a Prisma, because I know that they will blend into each other, but they need the layers to help them. There's just nothing like Prismas as far as smushing them together goes. Yeah, polys won't blend the way Prismas do. I've tried. I haven't been successful. Maybe someone else has been successful with them that way. But yeah, I haven't had much success. When I try and treat polys like Prismas, I actually get really, I don't like the way they blend in that, and I don't like the effect. So it reminds me, just layer and take it slow. Yes, Leslie, layer everything. I do that as well. You get also really good results when you layer, because you're giving the color time to mix and blend and shine through. So I layer for two reasons: to mix the colors and also to saturate my color. I like saturated color. I don't like when it's so light you can still see the tooth of the paper. That really bugs me. So I layer and layer and layer, but up to a point, because if I layer too much I get bored, and then that's it. I won't come back to the page for a while. Does anybody use a blending pencil? And have you found it more helpful or less helpful? So light cadmium yellow and a light green. You use a blender sometimes, but not very often. Yeah, I tend to do that as well. I don't use them, blending pencils, too often. I try use them because I get impatient. I have been coloring since May 2020. That's when I really got into coloring. Before that, I'd done sketching with just normal graphite pencils, and when I got my first set of artist grade colored pencils back in 2013, when coloring was starting to kick off again as a hobby, and I tried it out, but it really baffled me. I couldn't understand how to take the color and translate it into black and white. By that point, I understood some of the concepts of shadows and highlights in just regular black and white. So to go and take that and put it into colored pencil, I just really honestly struggled. Eventually I came right, but I mainly came right in 2020, and by that time really could access, I think it was just the right time. I got onto YouTube, started looking at things, found Facebook groups for adult coloring, and that really helped me. I think if I didn't have that, I'm not sure if I'd be here today. And yourself? How long has everyone been coloring for? When did you start? What's your story? Yeah, Leslie, I tend to do a lighter color or white before I do a blending pencil. I did buy the Prismacolor blending pencil. I'd heard good things about that. But I still find the same thing happening. Whenever I use a blender, there's this slight gray tinge that comes onto my coloring. And I find that puts me off. Whereas if I use the actual pencils themselves, using the pencil is still my favorite by far. Oh wow, that's awesome. Coloring since 2015, wow. Yeah, YouTube is really great to teach people skills and techniques. I really do like it. 2013 though, I still had two babies, one a toddler, one a baby. I think I was pregnant with my third. So I think the life timing wasn't right for me to really have a hobby. Didn't have the time. So I ended up by 2015, I had 3 children, 5 and under. So it's just really, really busy. But then in 2020, they were older. And then coloring just meant I could get interrupted and I could easily pick up where I left off. Whereas with drawing, I need to shut my mind off so that I can get the proportions right. So drawing wasn't going to work very well. But yeah, coloring easily solved it. You must be an amazing colorist. Brittany, if you prefer step-by-step instructions, then maybe Helen Elliston's Special Colorist Effects is a good recommendation for you. She's got 4 books, and they do have step-by-step instructions with images and everything. So that could be useful. I think we're all, well, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm a slow learner too, so you're not alone. I mean, I've still got my head, trying to get my head around light source. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just when I think I'm starting to come right, I'll see some work of art with amazing light source, and my head will just go, does not compute, does not compute. And then I'm like, okay, how do I do this? And I actually find there isn't a lot of videos talking about light source and the different types of light source, and kind of walking you through how to color light source, whether it's ambient lights or directional lights or backlighting. So I have found light source really tricky to kind of get my head around. I hear you, Brittany. That sounds really tricky. Oh wow, Leslie. That's really cool. That YouTube led you into coloring. That's cool. Okay, I think my purple flowers are done. I'm going to use paint pen to go over the edges, but I want my light green. And my light cadmium yellow. Okay, we were going to do purple bugs. Oh wow, Penny. Could you teach us? I'd love to learn how to do light sources better. Seriously, if you did videos on light source, I will be there watching them. Okay, I want I think I'm going to do slightly dark bugs. So, all right, this is crimson. So I'm going to come down to this itty bitty bug. Do you find, Penny, that your experience with photography helps you to understand light source better? Oh, Penny, you'd be great. Love to learn from you. you'd have a captive audience. So we are almost done with this. Wow, Penny. I have noticed the need to contrast the lights and the darks. But it's when you add the light source in and trying to get the, I suppose, the believableness of the light source, that's really tricky. Because yes, the whole, keep your darks dark and your lights lights, it's just knowing always where to put them so that whatever we're coloring is believable. Yeah, I find with the lights, my brain only goes so far and then I get stuck and then it just conks out and goes no more. So if I do like directional lights, I'll understand the theory of the objects closer need to be a bit lighter, and as you go further out away from the light source, that tends to be when I get stuck. It is a good challenge though. Oh gosh, yeah. Lanterns and all of that, moons. Sometimes I even forget about the light source. I don't mean to, sometimes it just slips my mind. But it is fun, and I think if a person gets the light source correct and the lighting correct, your page transforms into something really exquisite. That's great, Brittany. Glad that you enjoy the color by numbers. Oh yes, Penny, absolutely. Executing what is in the mind and getting what it to come out on paper is definitely an art form to itself. I find sometimes though what I want in my mind, I can't always find a photo of someone having done it. Because I'm like, if I can find somebody who's taken what is in my mind and done their version of it, then I have a reference photo I can work with and I can adapt it. And I don't mind giving the person credit, because absolutely credit is due where credit is due. Yes, Brittany, there are definitely people who can visualize things in their minds and execute them and have no trouble with it. Okay, let's do the leaves here. Alright, so this is cadmium yellow lemon. And then May green. And then I go down to juniper green. You can use indigo blue to deepen up this green combination. It works really well. So I'm just quickly going through these colors because I just really want to finish these leaves, but it's pretty much the same color combination, and just use a dark indigo to deepen up my shadows. I find with the greens it's quite tricky to come up with combinations that work on a page but are still different. I think coloring green is quite an art. Oh, we can give him a blue letterbox. I have got probably a good maybe third of my polys out right now. I think it depends on the color combo. Do you end up with almost every single pencil out of your bag? Okay, so I wanted to put up here some, well, actually I'll do it on this side, some glitter here, just to sparkle these up. And then I was going to put some in here. I'll turn the book upside down so that this can dry. Then I do have purple. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put purple glitter glue in these dots here on both flowers, but I need to unclog my my glitter nozzle. And then I'm going to put on the frog, I'm going to do his feet. Let's see, a cinnamon, no, not a cinnamon, that won't work. A May green, and then I'm going to use the olive green yellowish. I'm just going to slot my page so I don't get too much glitter on my fingers. Just glitter gel pen on the necklace area. So for his eyes, I actually want to go look at a Zucchini Kitty tutorial. So Zucchini Kitty did a color along on her channel with a frog out of the Magical Dawn book. So I'm just going to hop onto her tutorial and have a look at how she did the eyes, and that's what I'm going to do on his eyes. So if you are coloring this page with me, just pop over to Zucchini Kitty's YouTube channel and have a look there, because I'm not going to have time to do his eyes on camera and look at her video at the same time. So if I tell you how I'm going to do it, then hopefully it will help you know exactly when and how. Bye Kylie, thanks for joining. It's great to chat to you and to have you on with us. Okay, then on his dots, I'm going to put green glitter glue, or you could use green stickles if you have green stickles. I just buy the Dovecraft glitter glue from Poundland. It's normally £1 a bottle, and I've had these bottles since 2020, so I think that's pretty good. And then I can put some in here. I've got all the colors I could get, so blue and red, green, purple. Okay, I've done this really the backwards way. You're supposed to do the glitter last and then do the colouring. So again, I'll show you what not to do. Ah, thank you. I used Inktense pencils for the background. And I tried not to colour onto the paper, but to use paintbrush, which worked really well on this paper, but when I tried the same technique in Romantic Country, the first tale, it didn't go so well. So I ended up doing an Inktense background there, but then went over it with pencil. Yeah, I've worked really hard to get the Inktense pencils to work. So I found I had to do a bit of a wet on wet technique. So I wet the paper with water, use a palette, scratch the Inktense pencil onto the palette, and then from there I can pick up the paint and paint it on. So I did a whole page in Mythographic Magical Earth on the channel with Inktense pencils, and I use the same technique there, which actually works really, really well. Right, I just need to do the roof, the mushrooms I will do off camera. So it's, and then the rest of the stamens I can color. I've shown you how to do that with the glitter. And then I'm just going over the webs with white gel pen. Right, so I think I will do the roof off camera because I need to think about it, and I've gone really long over. I try and do 2 hours and I've done a lot already, so I will finish the page off camera and I will take a photo of it when it's done and stick it up on the community post. And then next Monday I will do the color along series in Magical Voyage, sorry. It's Mythographic Voyage, and we're doing the whale page, and I'm going to use Ohuhu markers as a base and go on top of it with a variety of pencils. So I'm going to pull you out so you can see the picture, and there you go. So that's how it looks like. And I have a myriad of pencils and all of that out. I will link up all the pencils and the things I've used in the description. But yeah, so other than just me finishing up touches and then I'll just do the roof, this page is done. So thank you so much for joining me, for hanging out with me for 3.5 hours. I've really gone over. I really appreciate you. I really value you, and I look forward to next Monday when we will do another color along. So have a great week, everyone, and take care. Bye for now.